Hey everybody, Music Therapy Labs here on a beautiful sunny Saturday afternoon, heading out to the Berkeley, California area. Yes, we're doing a little vlog here, which is actually a VEDA vlog, which is a vlog every day in April. It's kind of a YouTuber thing to help you build up your hours of view time and also build up your hours of uploads and whatnot. And I've been doing this for a couple years now, YouTube, but more music and gear centric. But this is kind of more of like everyday kind of happenings. We've got the California orange poppy, the California poppy, which is the state flower. You can see a bunch of it growing right here to the right. Check that out, right behind this van there. Look at all that orange. That's the orange poppy. Beautiful, right? Got Hell's Angels of California zipping right by. It's just one of them. We got some chemtrails going on up there. Yeah, I'm kidding. I don't believe in that. Anyway, yeah, we're going through the hills here of Dublin and Castro Valley. So these are hills that surround the bay of the San Francisco Bay, and we're in the East Bay, heading toward another part of the East Bay, which is Berkeley area. I'm sure you've heard of Berkeley, home of all kinds of interesting folks, artists, musicians, hippies, and scientists. Yeah, as a matter of fact, some of the greatest scientific discoveries, especially in chemistry and even biological chemistry and biological sciences, have been discovered at Berkeley's California University, Berkeley University, one of the Cal states, or California State Universities, right? Been there many times, seen some great concerts at the Greek Theater, which is there on the campus. One of the best shows that I saw out there was UB40, if you know them, reggae band of the 80s and 90s and into the 2000s, I believe. They might have still been around, but saw them with the Fine Young Cannibals, a ska kind of reggae band, or more ska music band, opening up for them, which was a pretty darn cool double bill, right? But I've seen so many cool shows there in Berkeley. I've seen the Civic. I've seen Satriani early on doing his, Surfing with the Alien tour, and some others. Seen many shows. I remember catching some smaller acts in the beginning. Anyway, there were smaller acts at the Berkeley Square, including Wire Train and some other bands, number of bands. Probably most famously, you had, oh God, what's his name? The Wicked Game dude. It's slipping my mind. Chris Isaac. Chris Isaac, of course, saw him several times playing at the Berkeley Square in the early Silvertone era days, pre-Wicked Game album days. Yeah, his voice wasn't quite 100% there yet. He was still kind of developing it. And some interesting knowledge on that guy too. I absorbed watching some late night Johnny Carson and other like even David Letterman shows where he was playing live, with his band. And he was a boxer. I think he was going to college or studying somewhere in a JC, junior college or community college. And he was a boxer of all things. And then I guess he must have been at some karaoke bar or some other get-together and discovered that he's got a voice, and he was smart enough to at least go after a particular sound, just like the Stray Cats back in those days. They kind of came up with their own kind of sound, kind of rockabilly, but rock, and little poppy kind of sound. So Chris Isaac kind of went that folk Americana sound, and James Woolsey, his Jimmy, as they would call him, he was actually out of a punk rock band kind of style thing going on back then in the 80s, right? Or was it the 80s? I'm talking 90s, early 90s. And yeah, Woolsey, laid down that cool, slow, dreamy kind of, guitar style that became their signature sound, and his signature sound. And from there on, man, gold records. So yeah, and they were out of the area, right here in San Francisco area, man. So a lot of good music having come out of here. You know, I was just listening to a little Metallica earlier, right before we turned off that music, otherwise I get tagged. So I had to turn the music off. But yeah, we're just driving out to Berkeley, so I'm taking you along for this short little ride. And I might not drag this video on too long, but yeah, we got the hills of the Oakland Hills up here. As a matter of fact, what was that guy's name, that rapper? He used to do that song. Can't touch this. You know that dude. Hammer. MC Hammer. Hammer Time. He has his massive like house or mansion when he was making money anyway. He has this big mansion up there on the hill. I don't even know whatever happened to that, like who ended up owning it, but he went bankrupt. He's one of those guys that I think he came out of you know, the Oakland area here. He, you know, was a rapper, and of course came out of a lot of support from the community and all the churches and all the, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know. And he was helping out so many people. He gave jobs to so many people, and you know, people were like sucking off him a little bit. He went bankrupt because he just didn't handle his finances well enough. I remember seeing a documentary on him. It was pretty interesting, or some kind of movie, documentary style kind of movie, I think, about his life. Look at this jerk. Thanks. Nice. Yeah, drive that way. Anyway, idiots on the road. Right nearby the sheriff's station that's up on the right up over here. It would be nice if we see him pulled over. As a matter of fact, up ahead, about 3-4 miles down, is the Oakland Zoo, which is a really, really nice zoo. They do a lot of cool stuff. This time of year is a great time to go there because there are a lot of little baby critters being born and whatnot. You can go there and watch some of that. I remember back a few years back, they had some of the white tigers that they have here. They had a couple little white tiger cubs, which is kind of cool to see, right? But they have giraffes and everything. You can get close up to the giraffes there. They actually used to have, I'm not sure if they still do, but used to have elephant rides. You can get up on the elephant, ride the elephant like you would like in India or Africa or whatever. But they had like a little platform you get up on and you can sit up the elephant. And we used to live right off that exit, me and a couple buddies. Actually, a guy I used to work with, this guy Derek, very cool dude. He played drums, or probably does still play drums, and was learning guitar as well. And my cousin Joe moved in with us. Unfortunately, we got robbed, and that's when they stole my Gibson Super Strat designed by Charvel, the Wayne Robert Charvel SRS. It's the SR-71, like the Blackbird, the spy plane. It's a very sleek-looking guitar that Charvel designed, but it has a WRC on the truss rod cover. And other than that, it's probably the most authentic Super Strat you can get. The authentic Gibson Super Strat. But yeah, it was right off of 98th Avenue up over here. So right over the hills here, straight up ahead, is where that Oakland Zoo is, tucked inside the hills here, the Oakland Hills. To the left, of course, is the bay. To the right is like east. Straight up ahead is north. And this is a highway called 580. So you'll see here it says Golf Links Road, 98th Avenue. You can also take that as an exit toward the airport. If you want to go to the Oakland Airport, down through the neighborhoods here. But you see the sign up ahead here. It says Oakland Airport Zoo and Coliseum. So to the right, up over the hills here, the Oakland Zoo. Very cool zoo. And then, yeah, we lived in a house here that Derek and his aunt bought as an investment kind of thing together, and it didn't really work out because it was right before the big crash in '08. And then I ended up moving to Emeryville with my cousin Joe. But it was a real bummer because we got robbed up over here. The people came in, they were pros. They came with a moving truck and tried to move everything out of there. And yeah, they stole keyboards, guitars, computers, all kinds of stuff. It was a massive bummer because my cousin Joe had a bunch of music that he had recorded and a lot of work that, all that stuff that was stolen. Unfortunately, all the music and everything that he worked on was just lost, gone, stolen. Couldn't recover, never recovered anything, unfortunately. And there were, insurance doesn't cover jack when it comes to that kind of stuff. So anyway, we're getting to the point where I'm going to turn this off. Just wanted to do a quick VEDA, my vlog every day in April here, and tell you guys, don't forget, tomorrow morning at 9:30 in the morning, I'm going to be doing my live show with Roxy, waking up on Sundays, doing our, not really Q&A, more like kind of community hang thing, and talk about whatever. Last time the subject was the revenge of the gear nerds, and I went into the whole topic of how I think really rock and roll has been changed, and part of the reason why guitar rock is dead is because everything, the life's been sucked out of it by nerds. By the computer industry, by everything being on computerized recording, nothing recorded in a room where you've got a band that records everything together like they used to, like AC/DC just recently did, like Judas Priest did with Firepower. You just listen to that and you can tell those guys were rocking out in the room and having a good time, and that's what rock and roll's all about. But it's changed. It's not the same as it used to be, but maybe this whole period of Rona, as I like to call it, we will experience a resurgence of that kind of thing, because people are going to be really hungry for some live music and some rock and roll, and maybe some people will be, putting bands together in their garages and whatnot, and some young people will rock out and start doing some live shows when things open up again here. And then they're actually already talking about getting into the green tier here in California. We're talking about the green tier, meaning totally open, right? So that's awesome. So anyway, until next time, you all, I'm not in the Franken van, I'm in the Subaru. Yes, the Crosstrek, great little car. And we're heading into Berkeley. Gonna do a little bit of shopping. And until next time, you all, catch me on the show with Roxy tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. And Thursdays we have the Guitar Mods Squad. That's right, the Guitar Mods Squad. Next week, Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to have Jack the Rabbit. If you don't know Jack the Rabbit, go to Jack the Rabbit and look for a black background, white outline rabbit bunny. It's kind of funny that it's right around Easter, right? Jack the Rabbit is going to be joining me as a special guest, because he does some really awesome mods to some of his guitars, and we're going to have to talk about some of those mods. And you can also do your guitar, to hot rod your guitar, even if you don't want to make a super strat out of your Strat, but you want your Strat to function and play better. He's got ideas, we've got ideas for you. Stay tuned to that. And until then, you guys, rock on. Music Therapy reminding you, Music Therapy Labs reminding you, secret to tone is in your mind, but the feel comes from your heart. Put them together with your fingers, toes, tongue, whatever you use to play your musical instruments, and rock on. Until then, see ya. Laz out.